Hello, looks like I'm on here by myself, but I'm gonna still clear the air on some things. I did a video on March the 21st. It was a video talking about how in certain cultures, countries, I don't believe in Western, or Westerners do this, at least to my knowledge, we don't in the United States. But it was regarding cooking dogs alive. The inhumane, the torturous way that some cultures cook dog for food. That video was not trying to present my food habits to anyone else or to try to get anyone to eat like I'm eating, or especially like I'm learning to eat now. It was just to make people aware of this practice because I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea till I came across this video on the internet, and I started looking into it, and I learned that a lot of Asian cultures take of this, but Asian people is not the only one that eat this kind of thing or do this practice, just like eating bats. I think we were under the assumption, at least I was, that it was only the Asian culture that ate bats, and it's not. There's tribes in different parts of the rainforest who eat bats, bat soup, grilled bats, fried bats as well. I'm not eating bats. Again, that video was not to impose my eating habits on anyone else. It was just to make people aware that this actually goes on in the world. I had no idea. I knew how they would eat monkeys, monkey brain. I saw that years ago where they would hit a monkey upside the head. And so they killed the live monkey right there at a dinner table. And then everyone sitting around would eat the monkey's brain. Gross. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I don't do it. And if you do it, that's on you. But again, the inhumane, this dog was cooked. I'm not going to put that video back up. They took it down when I put it up anyways. They took it off my Facebook page. They took it off my YouTube page. So if you guys want to see that, it's out there on the internet. Just Google it, cooking dog alive, or however you word it. It's going to come up because there's countless videos out there about that. And I don't think I need to put it back up, but just want to address some things. Some of my supporters in this video was very upset about that video. I do not promote hatred or racism. And when I said the guy looked like he was Asian, that was fact. I saw the video that I had posted. I saw the side of his face, and he looked of Asian descent. It wasn't nothing racist about it. Had he been a black guy, I would have been like, this is a black guy. He looked like he was black or African. If it was a Hispanic person, I would say they look of Hispanic descent. The case in point, the guy that was cooking this dog and tortured this dog to death was Asian descent. So so you guys just talking about I'm racist, stop it, because I was just calling fact. It was right there in plain sight that this guy was Asian that was doing this. Am I saying it's Asians the only one that do it? No, I got a lot of feedback from Indian people and certain Asian people that say they don't even eat meat. They practice vegetarian or vegan. So they kind of, side-eye this practice. So again, not seeing this all Asians or everybody in that part of Asia did this, but again, we were discussing this particular practice, and anyone who partake in this practice is evil. That was evil. How could you cook a dog alive? The other point to that video is Chinese restaurants in America, this is fact too, are known at times, it may not be every Chinese restaurant in America, but it's too many Chinese places in America that cook dog, that cook cat, and that cook rat, and probably other things, and sold it as chicken. You damn right, I was talking against that as well. That's wrong. If you choose to eat dog, rat, or cat, that's you. Don't feed it to me or anyone else who are thinking they're eating chicken. That's just wrong. Here in America, at least to my knowledge, we don't eat dog, rat, and cat. We just don't. Me, if you want to know about me, since y'all keep coming at me, I am leaning toward more of a plant-based diet. I haven't let go of fish. I can't remember the last time I had chicken. Anything else, I'm not eating. I wasn't a big pork eater in the first place because we were raised as Hebrew and we did not eat pork. I had my first piece of bacon probably when I was 23 years old. But no more bacon or anything like that for me. And I'm not trying to impose my food habits on you guys. Again, just showing this video regarding this guy cooking dog. And there, again, are numerous videos out there like that wasn't just an extraordinary case, an exceptional case, and somebody just having a video and put it on the internet. This is a practice that's widespread in some cultures. This is what they do. And they feel they get a lot of medicinal purposes or rewards to eating a dog that was cooked alive and tortured. You know, it's a saying, you are what you eat. So this dog died so horribly and you're consuming his flesh. Don't you think you're going to have some of those pains and those fears and relating to that type of death? You're consuming that flesh that died so tragically. I do want to address some of these people because I keep typing and, I try to address all of my comments because I do appreciate the interaction. This is probably one of my, well, not one of my biggest videos, but my biggest videos to date. So even after almost 2 months, I'm still getting comments on that. And I do go in and check the comments, and I like to reply to everyone because I just appreciate the support or the non-support. And I think I got so many dislikes on this video. So I say, I'm not going to take that personal because I feel the dislikes are people disliking or the disdain for this poor dog being cooked alive. I do want to say, I did some research and there are organizations worldwide that is aware of this practice, and they are trying to rescue dogs from the meat trade. So this is known. Some of the organizations are Soy Dog Foundation, and soy is SOI. So if anybody want to reach out to some of these organizations, they can, to see what they can do to help, because I was getting a lot of feedback on what could we do, how can we stop this. Another one is the Humane Society International, Animals of Asia, and that was very interesting to me because they were like number 3 on the list to kind of stop this dog for meat trade, and they are based in Hong Kong. So that was very interesting to me since it seemed like all the videos that I've saw so far was all Asian people that was partaking in this particular practice. And the last one is a Change for Animals Foundations. So there are people that ask me what could be done to help, not shooting up Chinese restaurants, not being biased or racist to them or mistreating people of Asian descent. There are some real organizations that's trying to offer real help to these animals that's out there. And just going back to the meat eating part, again, guys, it's not that I was trying to impose my decision to not eat meat or only eat fish at this time. And that's if I eat any type of meat. It'll be fish once or twice a week. But since we're going to talk about the meat, there's so much stuff going on with the meat, especially this pandemic that we're living in now. I recently found out that certain companies are using fetal tissue in foods for flavoring. Cosmetic companies are using aborted fetal tissue. Vaccines is no surprise to me because they put, I believe, any and every damn thing in vaccines, and then they want to shoot it in us. And now they have some reports. I know I'm getting off a topic here. They have some reports that some of the flu vaccines, vaccinated people may have a more severe reaction or illness to the COVID-19 due to the flu shot. It's so many reports coming out. You don't know what to believe, what not to believe. I believe it's a lot of things that went in that pot regarding this COVID-19. So probably anything and everything is possible, along with eating a bat soup, because they say there was a certain strand of COVID in bats. And if we're eating bats, like if I put some Crystal Light in this bottle of water, then I drink the water. I'm not drinking really the Crystal Light. I'm drinking the water, which I'm getting the Crystal Light that was put into this water. To me, it's the same situation. If a bat is infected with COVID and we eating it, some of that poison or virus or disease is going to go inside of me. But getting back to aborted fetal tissues and stem cells being put into our foods and other products that we use, man, I'm not trying to put my views of meat on anybody, but that's just something for people that still consume a lot of meat to think about. Just think about that. Yeah. This other person I wanted to address, I'm trying to look for their comment on here. Okay, this person, his name on YouTube is Adolf Hitler, but he said he's Asian, and he said he's Asian and he's Malaysian Japanese. And he told me, don't worry, that they don't eat exotic food in his homeland, that they eat fish and cows. Somebody else, speaking of fish and cows, had told me, like, you want to judge people that eat dog, y'all eat cow and chicken and pig and all of that. And again, I'm just trying to make it clear, this discussion, even though I went off topic a little bit and talked about consuming meat, but this particular video, this discussion was not about people choosing to eat meat. It's not even about people choosing to eat dog. It's about the cruel way these dogs are cooked alive. Secondly, it was about, do not serve dog, cat, and rat to people as chicken. A lot of people on this video that commented said that they will not eat Chinese food anymore. And even if I was still eating all this different type of meat, after viewing this, I wouldn't eat Chinese no more either. And before I started going more toward a vegetarian and plant-based diet, I had stopped my Chinese food eating, because those of you that still eat Chinese, you know, when you go to certain Chinese restaurants, how the chicken, if you order like a chicken dish, chicken fried rice or chicken this or chicken that, the chicken is rubbery, is yellowy, and it's rough. The texture is rough and you can see it. And when I think back about that shit, I'm like, that was not chicken. You know when you're getting chicken. And I don't eat chicken no more. I haven't had chicken in a very long time. But you know when you're eating chicken. And if you are going to still eat chicken, guys, if I was still eating chicken, I would get Amish chicken. I wish I could go right to the Amish farm and get it. but anyway, so it was those things. The cruel way that dog was cooked alive, as well as certain Chinese restaurants were getting away with feeding people cat, dog, and rat in the name of chicken. That's wrong as hell, and they should get the hell out of our country and out of our neighborhoods with their restaurants and not be able to do that. I stand on that. It's not racism. It's not bias. It's just what's right. That's not right. You guys can't go down to a good market and buy chicken for your Chinese restaurant. You want to kill the neighborhood dog and cat and then serve it to us. When I lived in Detroit years ago, I lived in the Boston Edison district. Anybody from Detroit, Michigan knows that's a historical area. And unfortunately, back then, we were infested with cats in the neighborhood. We were infested with cats. At the corner of my street, there was an old bank. The bank had been shut down, so it was abandoned. Probably about 5 years after we owned this house and we were raising our children there, a Chinese restaurant opened up inside that old bank. My husband at the time, he said, "Hey, babe," it was probably about 5 months after they opened. He said, "Have you noticed that we don't see any stray cats? Not that we see maybe a couple of stray cats here or there. We saw no more stray cats, none." And I'm like, wow, you know what? You're right. I have not seen a stray cat in a little while. And I couldn't tell you what the time period was, but I had not seen any cats. And this neighborhood, again, was infested with stray cats. When this Chinese restaurant moved there, the cats disappeared. You guys, that is like no joke. Is not me making it up. It's fact. And I'm like, my dumb butt still, and he did too. We still ate Chinese food after that, but that was always in the back of my mind to years later when I saw a report of how chicken may not be chicken, and I started looking at it. I'm like, this shit do not look like chicken. Yeah, I'm done with that. So I started getting like a shrimp dish, but now I don't mess with any of it. I don't do Chinese food. Now that I'm on this live, I was trying to find some of these more ignorant comments, but I can't. You guys were very positive for the most part. Again, I don't endorse the hatred and the violence. This person, I'm not even going to read their comment, but they're pissed off. And I can understand them being pissed off because to look at that poor dog call out and cry out for his or her life is gut-wrenching. So that is about it. I know I'm gonna see some of those comments that I wanted to address on live after I go off a live, but I am here to say that video that I did on cooking dogs alive was not to impose my choice of food on anyone, but it was to make people aware. Some of you guys probably was already aware. I wasn't. I was very ignorant to dogs are being cooked alive. Also, is to say we're not gonna partake or buy none of your damn Chinese food over here in America, and you're selling meat as something that it is not. So those are the 2 points of this video. And somebody say, I think I'm better than everybody else because I'm eating this and I'm eating that. What makes me different? What makes me different is, to my knowledge, they don't torture the cow. Now, I don't eat cow no more. They don't torture the pig. I definitely don't eat pig. They don't torture the chicken. I don't believe they torture the chicken. I don't eat chicken no more. Somebody did compare that they cook lobster, they boil a lobster alive. I didn't know that because I don't eat lobster. And I think they said they cook the crab alive, I think. So they said, what's the difference? If that is true, I feel for that lobster or that crab if they have the type of fillings that the dog has. But not to, I don't know. I just don't think it's a comparison. If a lobster is boiled alive, I don't think it's a comparison to that dog being boiled and sautéed alive. That's just my opinion. All right. That's all I want to say. Good night.